Well, as Valentine's Day approaches, love may be in the air, but money can still be a sensitive topic for couples. Joining us now to talk more about is bank rate principal analyst Ted Rossman to break down what those numbers reveal and how couples can navigate money conversations. But that is probably the biggest thing I think can make or break couples, Ted, is their finances. Do you find that to be a big thing, why people stay together or not stay together?
We do, yeah. Sadly, money is one of the leading sources of conflict in a relationship. It's one of the leading contributors to divorce. It's very personal. We found in our survey that more than 4 in 10 Americans believe that financial cheating is at least as bad as physical cheating, which is pretty extraordinary. But it's true. I mean, people worry about money. They really feel like it hurts if somebody's keeping secrets. So the fact that about half of Americans don't know everything their spouse is doing with money, secret spending, secret debt, it can come back to haunt you. Some of the advice here would be communicate. Even if you're not totally proud of something in your financial past, it's usually better to come clean sooner rather than later. The secret can take on a life of its own.
Boy, it absolutely can. I'm curious, do you find it better than for couples when they get married to have a joint account or not to have a joint account?
It's very split. We see about 1 in 4 are keeping their finances completely separate, and that's most common among Gen Zers. We see a little more than a third completely combining. That's more common among boomers. And then the remainder, which is also more than a third, are doing something in the middle. This yours, mine, and ours idea. That's favored by Gen Xers and millennials. So this involves combining some of your money for joint expenses and then also having some separation. As long as you acknowledge it, it's not financial infidelity. So if you and your spouse agree that maybe you each have a certain dollar amount or a certain percentage of every paycheck that's yours and yours alone, that can actually be a healthy way to have some independence within the relationship. Feel like the other person's not always looking over your shoulder. I would consider that yours, mine, and ours thing as a way to avoid some money fights.
That's great, man. Great advice. You should actually be like a marriage counselor the way you talk about this stuff. Do you find
it's a growing field? Believe it or not, there are a lot of financial therapists out there. It's kind of part money manager and part relationship counselor.
Well, yeah, I think it opens the door so much about communication and being open with each other. But you talked a little bit about like the secrecy and some things. Are you finding that like with maybe in a bank account, you can see where the money's going or coming in at? But what about credit cards? Do you see like that taking on its own life of its own?
We do. I would actually say that technology is enabling more financial infidelity, sadly, because you can do so much of this online now. So it used to be that people would find out when something would show up in the mail, like a statement they weren't expecting or a card. Some of that can still happen to some extent, but it's actually, not to give people any ideas, it's actually easier than ever to hide some of this stuff online and through apps and things like that. People go to great lengths sometimes to get packages delivered, like to a neighbor's house or the office, and they want to hide their spending. Let's not hide things. It's important to be transparent. There are some ways that you can work together while also having some independence. Set up a money date once a month. You and your spouse talk about money. You can also do that yours, mine, and ours thing. Maybe you each get $500 a month that's yours and yours alone, and the other person can't question that. Maybe the amount's higher, maybe it's lower. Figure out what works for you.
Like that yours, mine, ours thing is really smart. Earlier in our newscast, about 2 hours ago, we had a story about bank rate saying that this Valentine's Day would be a possibility of people spending $1 billion more than they did last year. For Valentine's Day. Now, my theory is that it's because it's on Saturday. Valentine's Day is landing on a weekend. More people would opt to spend it. Is that one of the reasons, or what do you think is causing that?
You could be onto something. Yeah, the National Retail Federation expects Valentine's spending to rise about 7% year over year, which is a pretty big jump. I mean, that's more than double the overall inflation rate. So we can't just blame higher prices. It could be that people are more interested in going out because it's a Saturday. I mean, we have some of the usual effects where prices always go up for restaurants and flowers and chocolates, but that's sort of equaled out. So yeah, the fact that people are spending over and above last year or over and above the inflation rate, maybe that's a good sign for our consumer-driven economy. These are all expectations, though. I would say that we just got the December retail sales figures earlier today, and they were less than expected. So a lot of what people said they were going to do around Christmas time didn't totally pan out. A lot of people are feeling stingier with their spending just because they're worried about inflation, high interest rates, high prices. So we'll see where it actually shakes out. In general, the sentiment is pretty low, but there is some optimism around Valentine's Day. We'll see if people are as spendy as the surveys indicate they might be.
Well, Ted Rossman, Bankrate, man, I really appreciate your time. If people want to learn more from Bankrate, where can they go?
We have more at bankrate.com about all different kinds of personal finance issues, managing money with a spouse, getting out of debt, investing for retirement, things like that.
Well, as someone who's married and looking at finances, I suggest everybody should do that. Check in with Bankrate. Hey, Ted, thanks so much, man. And hey, happy Valentine's Day.
Yes, you too. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
Hi, I'm Rochelle Murcia with Eyewitness News Bakersfield Now on YouTube. Thank you for checking out our YouTube channel where we have tons of great content to choose from. While you're here, go ahead and click on the subscribe button right there. That way you can stay up to date on all the things related within Kern County. Thanks for watching.